Alright, this is a very special video. This is a cab. I have a there's like a cabin right here. It's kind of tore up. This cabin was built back in the 1950s, and this is where me and my old friend Josh used to venture a lot of times. A friend of mine from high school, back when it was still standing, but yet abandoned, because it hasn't been operable since the 60s. We were hanging around in it back in the 1990s. So that's pretty much the long and short of that. I did find a rock out of here one time that was buried in the fireplace. And all that stone, and so amongst these stones, I have it. It's on display with my 1950s rock collecting book. And it was probably made around the same time this cabin was built. This is one of the last standing cabins. There used to be more. You see how it's all tore up now. I'll try to block the sun. Wow. This is an old cabin. Back when it was probably good and brand new, you could only take a black and white photo, because that's the only kind of photos that they had back in the 50s. They didn't have very good cameras like you have today. And over here, this is all the area I used to venture in. Much of it's been eroded by the lake. And I'll zoom out a little bit, kind of get a good picture of it. Yeah, this is a very sacred spot. This used to be a very scary spot too. When I used to go out here, sometimes I went here at night and I saw this cabin here. I saw this thing and it scared the hell out of me. I used to think there was ghosts in it. There was another one back in the 80s that's down the way in the shoreline that me, my dad, and my brothers, we used to call it Abraham Lincoln's house, because we thought it was built back in the 1800s, but records show these cabins were built back in the 1950s, somewhere around there, possibly earlier, but that's just my guess. And as a matter of fact, where my parents' house is, before 1985, their house used to be an apple orchard. So that kind of gives you a little bit of history as far as that goes. But over here, you know, I'm trying to go over, this is where the shoreline is right now. There used to be a bunch of land here. This was all forest. Now the land's eroded away, and another property owner from way up there kind of cleared some of it. But this is the original forest. This is some of the original area that still lingers here to this day, where this abandoned cabin sits, where it's all broken up now, but who knows what kind of artifacts you'd find in it. I found a few things back in the day, like toys and stuff. There goes the shoreline, there goes the lake. This used to be a hunting ground, I think. And in these cliffs are rocks that have been buried for thousands of years. I'm gonna find them. Yep. Look at that little pipe. Probably part of this thing. Here goes the prehistoric grass, as we call it. I think they're better known as horsetails, but that's prehistoric grass. It's gonna grow up real pretty. There's the cliff sides. So that's really all I have to say about this.